I want us to turn to the book of Genesis 41, verses 41 to 45. Genesis 41, verses 41 to 45. I'm reading. And the Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I've set thee over all the land of Egypt. And the Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain around his neck. And he made him to ride around the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him. It says, bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And the Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And the Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zepnath Paneth, and he gave him to wife, my goodness, he gave him everything. Asnath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of Potiphar, priest of On. And Joseph went on out over all the land of Egypt. The title of my message this morning is Greatness. Since next year is a year of sessions, so everyone wants to be a great person. So can we dig deeper into the life of Joseph? I know we have preached about Joseph many times. This Joseph is the patriarch of our faith. Joseph's story is one of the intrigue in the Bible. The major theme of this story of Joseph is the Lord was with Joseph. God took care of Joseph in so many treacherous situations. God can take care of anybody. The Bible seeks to encourage us that at every stage of our lives, nothing is too hard for God. The goal of the Bible is to remind us that there is a powerful God and a loving God, ready and willing to get what we need. That is why the division of the Bible is called the Testaments, an agreement for all humans, between God and the human, between the Savior and the sin. So this morning I want us to see the process of becoming great as we learn the life of Joseph. We meet Joseph in the palace. He's just 30 years old, young guy. It's energy. And then we want to find out how did Joseph climb up to the highest position in Egypt. I'll give you 3 principles that every leader must go through. The process of becoming great. You see, if you want to become great in cooking, in work, in preaching, in leading, in business, there is a process. You don't just wake up and become great. You don't wake up and become a president of a conference, a president of a union, or a president of this division. You got to go through a process. Nobody just wakes up in the morning and becomes a great cook. It's a process. Being great is a process, is not an event. So, Joseph is saying to us all here this morning, if I can do it, you can do it. When you look at great people, they went through a process. Joseph did not just start his life with a golden chain around his neck. Joseph was the son of Jacob. Jacob loved Joseph so much, and he even bought him a good multicolored robe. You know the story. I'm not going to go on that story. You know it. The brothers got jealousy, put him in a pit, sold him into slavery, and they lied to their father. Brother had been killed by a wild animal. They lied to the father. Joseph was just about 16, 17 years old. When he's being attacked by the brothers, he was left to die in the pit. He was sold. Pit brothers. Judah came to his rescue. But today, we walk in this palace. Joseph is a prime minister. How? I ask myself, how did this little boy, 17 years old, who was thrown in the pit, how did he become a prime minister? How? He did not wake up and found himself great. He had to go through a process. Look, leaders, you must go through a process. The world, Africa, is looking for people with number one, principles. Joseph had principles. Principles. Look. Follow me. Come on, follow me.
Yes, sir.
Joseph, he encountered Mrs. Potiphar with the principles. He stood out. Because of principles, he resisted the temptation. Joseph lived by sound principles. True greatness, my dear leaders, belongs to those who have principles. You see, principles develop character. And the character develops standard for you. When people see you, they say, aha, we know him. He's a man of principles. You see, integrity and ambition, they go together. Listen, don't let what you go through change your character.
Yes, sir.
Joseph wants to be great. I love this story. Wow. Joseph did not have a smooth road to his success, but Joseph had the principles, standards, character. People who do anything today in this generation, even among you pastors here, you do anything to be successful. Now the sessions are coming. Woo! Everyone is trying to be good. Everyone is trying to pretend it's a hard-working person. You see, people who do anything to be successful. The Seventh-day Adventist leaders are not isolated, unfortunately. They will lie, they will steal, they will kill, they will cheat. People with the principles would rather lose their lives than the kingdom of God. Morally consistent in all conditions. Principled people do not play favorites. No is no, yes is yes. You make enemies. As I told you yesterday, if you have no enemy, you have no principles. A man and a woman of principles who have enemies. Don't be afraid of having enemies. I found out in my ministry, the more enemies I have, the more I go to my knees. Because they keep me straight. If you don't have enemies, if you are surrounded by yes people, you become just a wishy-washy leader. You need people who can challenge you. People who can beat you up. You go home, you tell your wife, honey, I'm not eating supper tonight. You say, why? He says, it's all right, baby. It's all right. Because you have been beaten up. One pastor was telling me, I'm scared of going to church board. I said, what? Man, there's a church elder there. When I walk in, he starts beating me up. I said, that's all right. That's all right, because he's shaping you to be a leader. You see, my dear pastor, you make enemies, but God will bless you. You confuse some people, but God will bless you. You turn people away, but God will bless you. Listen, my dear African leaders here on this continent, don't let ugly make you ugly. Don't let being around bitter make you bitter. Don't let broken make you broken. Don't be insecurity. Don't let insecurity make you insecure. You got to remind yourself who you are. Whether in the pit, in the prison, in the palace, Joseph was the same. Principle. Number one, if you want to be great, you've got to have principles. Number two, you've got to endure pain. There's some young pastors, they come to me, they say, Dr. Muganda, what did you do to get to the general conference? They don't ask me, how did you get there? They don't ask me how. They envy my position, just like all of you here. You envy the position of the union president, the local conference, the division. It's a process. It's a tough one. You got to endure pain. You can't just be a president without pain. Come on. Joseph endured pain. Greatness has pain. No pain, no gains. Joseph had some pains. He was disliked. He was defranchised. He was disregarded. Step-brothers throw him in the pit. That's pain. Joseph had pains. When you read his story, it was full of pains. When your brothers, your own brothers, your own sisters, they betray you. When your own colleagues, your own pastors betray you. Friends who betray you. That's pain. At 17, he was attacked by his own brothers. He was seduced by his boss's wife. That is pain. He was abandoned by the butler in prison. That is pain. This Joseph had gone through 13 years of pain before we see him sitting in the palace. The moral of Joseph's story is that pain is an investment in greatness. Thank God for it, because He's preparing you for greatness. Yes, every pain you experienced had prepared you to become a better person. Yes, friends that I thought were friends stabbed me at the back. They created pain at first. Pain in romantic relationships makes you a better lover. People I thought loved me, but not. The pain made me a better people's people. The pain I experienced in finances makes me an expert in finances. The pain. One time I remember as I began ministry, even my bank account was almost zero. I remember one time I went to the counters. Those olden days, they used to, you come to the counter and ask, what's my balance? So the banker writes on a little piece of paper, then he folds it. Then he wrote, I said, what's my balance? Then he folded it. Oh man, it had only 100 shillings. So I left it there with my head down, looking down, because it was so painful. Here I'm a pastor. I don't have money. I can't even buy anything. The other day my wife was teasing me. She said, now you're so proud of yourself. I said, why? Do you remember when you used to have only one shirt? I used to mend it every day, every day. Do you remember, my honey? I said, I do remember. And she says, now look how many shirts you have in your drawer here. I said, I can't even count them. I said, honey, I went through the pain, but today I'm enjoying that pain. You see, listen, my dear leaders, you got to go through pain to be great. Some of you want to skip some pain. You can't be a president without pain. You can't be a senior pastor without pain. You got to go through the storms of life. Stop campaigning. You got to go through the pain. Come on, man. Listen, the pain of sin can make us better Christians. When you see someone who has gone through sin, he's a better Christian. Joseph was great because he made it through some pains. I wanted, Dr. Baker, I wanted to be a medical doctor because they make a lot of money. But man, I'm afraid of blood. Dr. Baker, blood? No way. I said, no, I better just be a pastor and have the blood of Jesus. This other blood, no, me, So, as a result, I hate pain. So when I go to the doctor's office, they ask me, in America, every time before they do anything, they ask you, because they are very careful, because they don't want you to die in their medical room there. They ask you, are you allergic to anything, Dr. Muganda? It's not like here they just put an injection. Then you say, are you okay? They give you a glass of water, you know. Yeah. But they ask you, are you allergic, Dr. Muganda? I said, no, I'm allergic to only one thing. I said, pain. I'm allergic to pain. Don't give me any painful thing. Pain. I do not want pain at all. But look, my dear leaders of Africa here, we must learn to endure pain. If you want to make it in school, you must go through pain. That's why we give you deadlines, papers to work, examinations every day. You can't sleep at night. That's why we bring you here without your wife so that you can go through pain. Go through pain. And they don't hate your teachers because of the pain. They are preparing you to be great. Yes. My students cried. They said, Dr. Muganda, you're giving us too much pain. I said, that's pain. If you want to make it through your profession, you've got to go through pain. You are beaten up by your president, you are beaten up by your church members, you are beaten up even with your family. That pain is preparing you to be great. Amen. The church members, today, as I told you yesterday, when we are becoming tougher, church members are becoming rougher. They become tougher, they become rougher. They put you through the pain. You must endure pain. Greatness must endure pain. Principle. You must have principles. 2, pain. Don't just rush for position. You got to be beaten up first. So when you talk, people say, yeah, he's experienced. When they say you're experienced, it means you're going through pain. Third one, and I finish. Passion. You must have passion. When you read the story of Joseph, when the butler who had forgotten about him, Pharaoh says, man, I had a dream, but it doesn't make sense. The butler said, oh, I know a little boy in the prison, Joseph. He has a gift. He's talented to interpret dreams. So Pharaoh said, all right, go and get him. Now what I like about Joseph, when I read my Bible, it says, when Joseph got the news, he went into the shower, he showered, took a shower, cut his hair, dressed up so well, because he was enjoying making dream interpretations. He had passion for his gift. He had passion to go and just tell the king, this is the dream. Making interpretations was Joseph's, oh my God, he loved it. Passion, he had passion. He had passion. Don't let what you are going through govern your gift. Joseph was a person of passion. He was determined to interpret dreams. That was Joseph's gift. Before Joseph went to interpret the dream in the palace, he shaved, he changed clothes. This was Joseph's passion.
Yes, sir.
You know, even this morning I woke up. I said, I'm going to preach. And I started jumping in my room. I said, I'm going to dress up like a preacher.
Yes, sir.
When I finish, I'm going to change. Because I have to come and teach like a teacher. You got to have passion for everything. If you find a gardener wearing a suit, you say, are you okay? If you walk here with a gardener, or even these security guards in suits, you say, you ask Dr. Beck, are these security people or they're pastors? You have to have passion, you have to dress up with passion for what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
So Joseph, he goes to the shower, he dresses up. He's going to the palace. The king is calling him. Joseph said, this is what I've been waiting for. This is my love. This is my joy. Pastor, I want you, this university, to prepare you to have passion to finish the work in Africa. Passion to be the best pastor. Passion to be the best president. Passion to be the best church member. Move with passion. Joseph is teaching us, when you have your gift, when God has given to you, enjoy it. Do it with joy. Look, follow me. You see, passion makes you do what you do in a way that otherwise you would not do it. People today, pastors have become so mediocre. They are lazy. They can't preach. They can't do a thing. We instead are becoming motivational speakers only. The church is calling for pastors with passion, who can take the word of God and break it for the church members. Passion. Well, listen. We do not bring passion in our Christian life. We come in the Christian life, we are empty, we have no passion. We sit in the service as if we are just waiting for the benediction. We come to church as if someone owns us something. We sing as if there is no joy or power in our services. We preach with no joy. Come on now. We lead without joy. There needs to be power in our prayer and praises. There needs to be power in our Christian living. We have to look good when we come to church. We have to look good when we come for God, there needs to be cleaning up and a shaving before we come to the house of God. Passion is the drive that causes me to use my God-given gifts even if nobody likes me. Hey, passion is what makes me wake up in the morning because I got purpose. Before the alarm clock goes off, I wake up before the alarm clock goes off because of passion. Passion causes me to do my work for which I'll be paid. Passion gives me suggestion to do health living because I want to live better. Passion makes you practice even when it's not performance scheduled. Passion, students, passion, students, makes you study even when there is no test. Passion makes you play hard even when your team is losing. Passion makes you shout even when there is no church service. I'm talking about passion. And so, my dear pastors and my dear colleagues here, Joseph had a passion. Jeremiah had a passion. John the Baptist had a passion. And Jesus had a passion. Because of the passion, he was crucified for you and me. And today, he is a great God, a great